I know I haven't been. Can you hear me? Okay, let's see if I can start this. I tried inside the building. It was just too loud to hear myself. I know that I have been offline for a couple of weeks now, and there's a good reason for that. I've been traveling at some professional dog shows, my first experience with it, and it's been exciting. 4 shows in Bloomington, Illinois, and I was there for part of those. And now tomorrow will be the 5th show here at the Purina Center in Gray Summit, Missouri. Now, between all 3 shows and all the different breeds of dogs together, I figured there were somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 dogs that have come through through these shows in the last couple of weeks. So I've taken hundreds of pictures. I can't possibly show those to you, but I'm going to show you a few of my favorites and then get down, kind of settle down to our devotion for the day. And my devotion for today is going to be talking a little bit about leadership. Whether it's leadership where you work, or leadership in the home, or leadership at church. And it doesn't matter whether it's whether you have kind of a hard edge to leadership or a pretty soft edge to leadership. There's something in what I'm going to say that will be valuable to you, and there's something in what I'm going to say that will be a cautionary tale for you to watch. So listen to it, take the best. And I'll catch you when I get back from the dog show. It's good to be back from the dog show. Had a lot of fun there, but basically for the last 2 weeks or more, a little over 2 weeks, we've been on the road and come back home for Sunday services and then back on the road again. And we put, I think, 20 hours of driving to dog shows on the car, but it was fun and it was a good time. Today I want to chat quickly about a subject that is important to all of us, whether we know it or not. And that basically are a few pros and cons of leadership. Because everybody is, to some extent, a leader of other people. It may be at work, where you have a certain amount of authority. It may be at the church. It may be in your own home. It may just be with your pets, your dogs and your cats. But all of us are called to step up as leaders at times, and none of us can get very far through life not successfully without some sort of leadership skills. So I want to touch on those today. Now, there's no doubt that some of us just naturally have more leadership skills than others. Leadership is just simply the ability to influence others. And there are some of us that always are influencers. We have people around us all the time that are influenced. It's even hard to shut it down sometimes when you don't want to be an influencer and you find that you are, while others of us kind of take the back seat and are not as skillful or as accustomed to practicing leadership skills. That doesn't mean we don't all need them. And it doesn't mean we necessarily agree on what makes a good leader. When talking about leadership, the first thing that comes to some of our minds are those people that just seem to get things done. They have the ability to just kind of order other people around. They want to get the best out of people. They're not afraid to tell you when you're not giving your best. They're not afraid to organize. They're not afraid to plan, and they're not afraid to delegate. This is leadership. It's extremely valuable. It's what we might call the hard side of leadership. That is, it's kind of tough and sometimes kind of rigid, but it gets things done. It's the kind of leader that organizations look for. It's the kind of leader that that really makes a difference, and what we usually think of when we think of a leader. That's not the only type of leadership. That's the hard side of leadership. There's also a soft side of leadership. And the soft side of leadership are those that encourage others. When somebody's about to quit, they keep them in there. They bring together people and work as a team and a plan. They value everybody on the team. They don't have such a strong pecking order. And when you are around a person like that, you know that you are valued and you want to give the best you have just because they inspire you to be the best that you can be. So which style of leadership is best? Well, if you lean toward a hard edge in leadership, you're thinking the person that gets things done. If you are lean toward the softer side of leadership, you're thinking the person that can inspire others to be their best and can lead the team. In reality, neither one is necessarily better than the other. Both are important and both are necessary in leadership roles. A parent has to be strong and a parent has to be nurturing. I think when I grew up, we often thought of my father as being stronger and my mother as being more nurturer, although Mom was pretty tough too. But they both carry some weaknesses to them. The hard side of leadership that gets things done often does it by trampling over other people and manipulating other people and being cruel to other people. Even though they don't think they're being cruel, they think they're just being just or doing what is necessary to get things done and crack the whip. And they create a group of people that follow grudgingly, talk behind their back, want to get out, and often don't give the best that they have. They just give enough to get by. And they hold a lot of resentment. These kind of leaders can do a lot in the short run, but it kind of comes back to bite them in the long run. A weakness for the soft style of leadership is that these are people that are often so involved in nurturing other people and bringing the best out of them and looking for their future and what they can be in the long run, that in the short run, in the here and now, they don't pull the trigger on the hard calls. Because part of leadership is having to make the hard calls when the time is necessary. And if you're there trying to help everybody feel better about themselves or to grow in an area and you don't make a tough call, you don't make a decision, and you don't delegate, then it may be you're building for the future, but you're not getting much done now. And not only that, but you would think that the people you invest in would be loyal to you and grumble about the hard leader, but they'll grumble about you too, because they will recognize that nothing is getting done, and they will feel the discouragement of just spinning their wheels in an organization that does, or a family or a church that just doesn't do anything except talk nice. Now let me bring this home, and this will be very important. If you haven't heard anything else I've said, listen to this. We are all leaders. You're a leader, I'm a leader. We all gravitate toward a harder edge or a softer edge, both of which are necessary and used by God and valuable. And we all carry with us some dangers and weaknesses on whatever edge that is. We think we feel so good doing what we're gifted at, but here's what we don't realize, that nearly always our weaknesses are our strengths taken to extreme. You get that? Your weakness is the very thing you're strong at, getting carried away to the extreme. So how do you grow as a leader? You be aware, honestly aware, of where your weaknesses are. Use the gifts God has given you, but also realize that embedded in those gifts are dangers. Well, here we are, halfway through another week, or for me, the first time in the last couple of weeks online with you all. In a few days, it'll be Sunday, and we'll be able to worship together once again. And this Sunday is Pentecost Sunday, where we recognize the birth and the birthday of the Christian church. Now, between now and then, may God give you the wisdom to see the strengths that He's given you and the courage to use them, and the wisdom to realize the weaknesses that are embedded in those strengths, and the wisdom to live a balanced life with those. May God bless you.